It hasn't hurt me at all. Benefited me.
Oh my God, it has so benefited my career.
I don't think there's any question that, unfortunately, it's an advantage.
It's definitely benefited me.
I'm sure it has benefited me.
Being a man inherently benefits you automatically.
I'd be pretty arrogant to not think that.
I think it certainly has its bypasses inside where, like, I'm a dude, so there's certain competencies that are perceived innately.
You see it all over the place. Men earn more, men are more likely to be hired than women are.
I've had a lot of people listen to me in rooms because I'm a man. I've had a lot of people book me on shows because I'm a man. I don't think I've gotten a job because I'm a man, but that could also be complete ignorance. I don't know.
I have never faced the kinds of challenges that a woman in politics faces.
I work in a sort of a traditional male area. I'm a banker.
I was a carpenter.
Well, I'm in construction.
I think the business world is still very much, male dominated.
There's not a lot of male dancers out there.
So I think in that particular industry, I didn't have any problems.
Where I work, there are a number of men and a number of women.
I guess physically, it's helped me.
They felt I was qualified, so I was hired for the position.
Did a lot of physical activity, so it's good to be able to just keep going strong for many hours of the day.
I think the way I've moved in career is you don't look for excuses.
I don't have to be as talented or work as hard to get the same job as females, just because the pool of female dancers, there's so many.
I don't see that I've lost out on anything or gained something from being a man.
You know, I'm sure people out there would tell me I should be checking my privilege, but my response has always been, I have no other life to compare this to.
I just don't see the world like that way.
If they were doing me any favors because I was a man, I suppose I should say thank you.
When it comes to just generally being a cis man, cis white man especially, you're always going to be fine.
But then thinking as a man of color, how that affects me as well.
Especially in my field, which is IT, I think people will automatically listen to me because of both my race and my gender.
I've experienced racism in the past, so I think man plus looking this way, if I was a white guy, would it be different? Probably.
And I think that in some ways actually being a gay man can also help even more so than just being a man, because as we see how companies are being more diverse in their hiring, there's always going to be a quota.
From first visible sight of me, people generally just don't clock me as being queer if I'm like wearing a winter coat or whatever, like I'm just another fat dude with a beard.
So, you know, when you are a gay man, that gives you a leg up, but also when you're a white man, that gives you a leg up.
Being like a femi-gay man can also be a huge hindrance, because then you're not masculine and you're not deemed manly enough for certain things, and people just view you as such.
As I become more masculine presenting, and I will look like a white man, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's a privilege, because it is.
When I go into spaces as a professional person, I have to be very aware of my maleness.
You know, I've seen my wife have a harder go of it, to be honest, in her career.
I, as a man, will never understand what it's like to be a woman and face oppression every day.
And being subjected to things like, you know, when she returned from maternity leave, getting laid off while they're hiring other men.
And I think one of the responsibilities that we have to have, and one of the ways I make sense of that fundamental imbalance and unfairness, is to say, well, how can I use this unwanted credibility to elevate the woman beside me as a partner and as an ally?
A lot of men have to realize that we've had an easier go of it just because of things like unconscious bias that exists in the workplace.
It is, I think, undoubtedly and inarguably beneficial to be a man in the workplace today.